Hi, and welcome to today's Hooray, It's Live, and we're on time today. So, welcome to today's Hooray, It's Live. Hooray, it's Thursday, live with Courtenay. We're looking at, I'm your independent, let me introduce myself. In case you don't know me, I'm Courtenay. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, New South Wales, Australia. And I'm coming to you live every Thursday on both my YouTube channel and my Facebook page. I do try and go live on Instagram as well, but sometimes the gremlins get into the computer and they change the ballpark or move the goalposts, and I don't know what is happening. So we give it a whirl. But if you are into social media, please click subscribe on YouTube. There is a little button, I believe it's down there, but I could be wrong. And it will let you know every time I'm live. Facebook, I do it on my main page, but if you're interested, I do have a VIP Stampers page, and that's where I share some extra stuff, and you're welcome to share your things on that page as well. It's just a group of my customers, team members, and those that are like-minded. That it's a bit more, it's different to a business page, for want of a better way of putting it. It's a bit more chatty. Okay, so you're most welcome to join us over there. I'm not sure if that link is in the description, but I can pop that in later if you would like. So today, I'm just going to let you know there's a few little things that happen up in the Stampin' Up! World, and there's so many things happening at the moment, but there's a few little things that make it different for a demonstrator to a customer. So demonstrators are great. You don't have to do what I do. You don't have to go and do classes. You don't have to do home parties, as they used to call them. You don't have to make videos. You can just purchase for yourself at a discount and craft to your heart's content. You can, if you would like to run it as a business, you can do more, and there is lots and lots of resources that will help us and are helping me to do that. So I do run this as a business. It's a small business. It's just me, although you do get to meet Tony quite frequently. He is the tea lady per se, so we cannot forget him. But anyway, so there's a great joining offer. It's got 3 days left, today and then the 30th and the 31st. It's a value add one. It's one of those ones where normally you get $235 worth of product for your $169. At the moment, you're getting over $300. It is so worth it. There is a virtual retreat coming up. The virtual retreat is over $400. There's something running on my roof. I don't know what it is, and I don't know if you guys heard it. The dog's ignoring it, but something was just running on my roof. My guess is it's either a possum or a bird. Anyway, the turkeys do it all the time. Yeah, that's way off left field. The virtual retreat that Stampin' Up! Is now advertising. You will see advertised on my Stampin' Up! Page as well. It is 3 days, 12 double-page spreads. Yes, it's $435. There are some extra things that you need: Stampin' blends, a trimmer, although most of it is actually pre-cut already. It comes with 2 stamp sets. It comes with all of the goodies pre-cut. So it's stamp, stick, place, all that sort of stuff. But you will need some ink pads and a few other things. So if you were thinking about doing it, my suggestion is that you join, get all the goodies that you need as part of your kit, like your extra bits, and then purchase your retreat kit at a discount. So it is a really good value. It's a really good way to do it, for want of a better way of putting it. Please reach out if it interests you. I'm around this afternoon, late tomorrow afternoon, Saturday and Sunday. I do have a class on Saturday, so that's the only time I'm not around. But there is so many fabulous things in the online store, and I thought today we would play with sunrise sailing. So I've got a few friends that always ask me about, I hope you've all got your cuppa. I've got a few friends that have always asked me about bloke stuff. So let me just hit this button over here. Okay. Bloke cards are a little bit left field. All right. They're sometimes a little bit more challenging, but they're just as fun. And to me, they're just as easy to do. Yes, we've got lots and lots of flowers, but this, as you can see, is brand new. It hasn't even come out of the shrink wrap or out of the packet yet. This is Sunrise Sailing. It is a bundle that's approximately, if I remember correctly, it is $88 in Australia as a bundle. just so that you know. Oh, hi Cheryl, she's watching us on Instagram today. She normally catches us on Facebook. So this Stampin' Up! Do a couple of things to help us when it comes to for demonstrators. One of the things that they do is they send us out a newsletter, and in the newsletter there was some suggestions of a class. And I thought, oh, that looks really interesting. I'm going to give that a whirl, because this was in my cupboard or drawers, not doing what it needed to do, which was get out and have some fun with it. So we've got a 3D embossing folder, which is one of our nice thick ones. Oh, that's your father. Stop growling at him. All right, nice thick embossing folder. We've got dies, and this is a hybrid embossing folder. So what's a hybrid embossing folder, I hear some of you ask? A hybrid embossing folder is one that the dies can fit into it, so we can stamp, cut, and emboss all of essentially one go. They don't want to come out of the plastic. Oh my gosh, it's stuck to it. A bit of static electricity in there. These are the dies. So as I was saying, Stampin' Up! Send us 2 layers of dies. I do like that. So we've got some waves, and of course we've got some sailing boats and clouds. I love the clouds. Oh, and there's even little birdies. Excellent. Gotta love a good seagull. Okay. Hey Chris, how you going? All right. Plus, there's a great photopolymer stamp set. Now, there's not a lot of happy retirement sentiments, and that is a really nice one. Now, there is one of the doctors at my work that's retiring. So 2 birds, 1 stone we've got happening here. This is going to be his card. Stampin' Up! Sent us a letter and said, here's a suggestion for a class, and or an email. And it has 2 cards used making this bundle and our blending brushes. Mine are a bit loved at the moment. I haven't run them through the washing machine for a little bit. For those that have got blending brushes, that is one thing that I do like to do, and that is run them through the washing machine. I put them on when I put stuff that's black in the machine, because then, these are new. So when they're new, we have to give them a clean. Well, I put them in through the machine in a bra bag when I'm putting black stuff on them in the machine. And the reason why I do it when I've got black in the machine is because it doesn't matter if the ink runs. Okay, you're not going to be able to see. Sorry, I'm just giving it bits of clean. They come with like a film on them, and it does make them a bit resistant to the ink. So we'll just give them a bit of a clean. You're going to fit on there? Oh, you're not. We might need a bigger block. Where's that dear husband of mine? You fit on that one? Ooh, nope. This one's too big. I need an E. But I've got this one. This one is the F. It's the Whopper, but we'll use that. It's not my favourite to use for most things. Let me see. Okay, so, and we've got some water. I don't know if we'll need the water yet, but we'll see. We are definitely going to do congratulations on your retirement or happy retirement. So the one that Stampin' Up! Sent us it was in fresh freezer, and you've just got this one. Have you been playing with it, Paula or Pauline? These are lovely. I haven't been playing with it yet. This is all still brand spanking. Okay. The email that we got sent had some suggestions for cards and classes, and it had instructions. So I do have these instructions in front of me, and I'm going to do something completely different, as you know most people do. So in my class we call it going rogue. So what we had was, we've got a stamp set that we can use, and they've used fresh freezer, and they've used Balmy Blue. Now, do you know what? That doesn't do sailing to me very much. So what I decided to do, because, as you do, I brought over some black cardstock and some white cardstock. What a better place to start. All right. So I've got all my bits over there. So I thought I'd start with my background. It's going to be, my card base is going to be black. I did cut a second one just in case. But the Stampin' Up! One was fresh freezer. They've got a little tag on the front. I really like that idea, so I will do that. Tony, he's going to come over and help me, hopefully. He's going to grab me an E-block. He's going to find that. It's the next size up from this guy. And you're going to find it in this, yep, the second drawer down there. If not the second, the third. Okay, because I've been moving everything around, or, you know, as you do, just to make it so that it's so much easier here. Okay, it's the biggest one that's not the biggest one, so it's not as big as this guy. All right. So I do have a piece that fits like so. However, I do think no.
You've already got one of them.
I do have already one of them. I want one that is a bit bigger than that square one, but not as big as the real big square one. So I've got, I'm thinking, because that can be my inside piece. I'm thinking though, I want a smaller border around it. Now I cut all my pieces like so. They're ready for my, for when I do my inside pieces. Ah, he's found it. All right. He has found it. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut a piece that's a little bit bigger than that. Anyone that comes to class, if we've got white pieces, you will notice most of the time, unless they're remarkably different, they will be very, very similar. So because it's easier to do them the same than it is, it's too confusing otherwise. Okay. So I've made that piece there just a little bit bigger. So it's going to fit quite nicely with that lovely black border. All right, so it's just going to have a very fine black border around it. Why black, you say? Just because I like it, something different, you know. All right, so first things first, what I want to do is I want to emboss this image here. So you'll notice that it's sideways, okay? It's a 6 by 6 square. It gives you the opportunity to do it as big a card as essentially as you want. Would also make a nice background on a scrapbook page. You still have to stick it in the same way you would if you were, you still have to stick it in with its spine first when you're sticking it into the machine. But you do need to work out where you would like, how much water you want and how much sky you want. Okay, so just be aware of that. 3D embossing folder. So, and we need our big baby here. 3D embossing folder has our white bottom, embossing folder with our cardstock in it, spine first, and our grey top. Okay, hey Pauline, have you made anything with it yet? All right. Okay, so that that crushes that piece of cardstock quite beautifully. How lovely does it look? Now, if you want to, you can colour this cardstock first, but you don't have to, okay? Here's where the tricky bit comes in. You can add this guy here. All right. Come on, let's come. All right. This guy here to your embossing folder. And I'm going to do it just because we can. Actually, I don't need as big a piece because I don't need. Oh, do I need a bigger piece than that? No. Yes, I do. Let's cut this one in half. I don't need to send the whole piece through. Sorry, just put everything on top. Essentially, I need to be able to fit that die in there. I put a new blade in the other day. It's so nice. Now you know that you all know that we've got replacement blades for our trimmer, and they are up in there. Pretty sure it goes in that way. Yeah, it does. It goes in this way. I think I just bent it pulling it out. Goes in there like so. Sort of fits in. Just holding that down while I put my paper in. Okay. And you'll see it's actually going to cut out and it's going to emboss. So I'll just bring my machine back in. All right. I wonder if it does the clouds as well. Let's not go there. Oh, guess what, everybody? There's a smirking kid just outside the door here. She's come home. She's come home and she's going to say hi. There she is.
Yeah, of course.
Mavelicious is home. She's
Hi.
been at work today. And she's brought home pancakes. Oh, okay. Treats for some. And there you'll see it's cut and embossed. That little ship. Oh, ship. It's not a ship. It's a sailing boat. Oh, my gosh. That's cut and embossed, that little sailing boat. So that's what a hybrid... Oh, it's fuzzy. Okay. That's what a hybrid embossing folder does. Oh, maybe you're distracting me. Off you go, please, honey. So a hybrid embossing folder can emboss, but it will also, there is a cutting component as well. Oh, so I wonder why it keeps hanging on, everybody. That might explain why it keeps jumping in and out. So yeah, so I've got that little ship as well now. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to do a little bit of shading. So we've got, and I can share the PDFs with you. The PDF that they, for those people that aren't demonstrators, the PDF that they've shared with us is actually very user-friendly. So what I brought over with me was some blueberry bushel and some misty moonlight. I've also got the Secret Sea because it's a nice deep dark blue. It's nearly black, but not really. And I brought over with me some oranges and some yellows. Okay. It's lagging for you as well, Cherie. Hello. I'm not sure what's going on. Cedar's probably in there in a room playing out on the internet. So I'm just going to, I'm coming off a little bit and I'm just going to come in and we need to make a little bit of blue on our ocean. So I'm just going to round and around. And it doesn't matter if I go over the ship a little bit. That's okay. Now, if you wanted to, you could have stamped on that sailing ship first. All right, but I deliberately didn't. Okay, because I just thought I'd just give it a little bit of blend. And because Stampin' Up sent this to me doesn't mean I have to follow what they said. Okay, so what I've done is I'm actually following what I want to do. Now, if you wanted to color that, if you didn't want colors on that ship, you could put this one here and use it as a mask. That will be wholly and solely up to you. But I'm actually going to color it in itself, okay, with other colors and a different blending brush. Okay, so the water's quite dark around the edges. I just like using two different colors, mainly because I can, and it just gives a different sort of, it makes it more, it gives it a bit of depth. Okay, all right, and how's that for our ship? Okay, so that's our blue. So we've got a nice bit of ocean happening there. I'm going to cover those up. Now I've got some Timid Tiger and some Darling Duckling. Now what we can do, actually, you know what I should have done? That would look fabulous. When the sun is going away, the sky starts to get that nice big redness happening to it. So I'm going to start with, I'm going to start with the Darling Duckling because that's what I normally would do. I'll just push it off the edge. So I'm going to come across the top here with my Darling Duckling. I don't care that I'm getting anything on that ship because I'm actually going to cover it up. I've made the decision. So Darling Duckling is up here. But because it's sunset, the sun's going to be going down and it's going to start getting a bit darker down here. Okay. And you can't take it off. Okay, that's the only thing I will say to everyone. You can't take this off. You can only put on. Okay, so just be aware of that. Okay, so as you're going along, you want to make sure that you don't put any more than you really want on there. So it could be sunrise. It's sunrise because the sun's coming up. It's a little bit light up the top, but the sun's coming up. Okay, so we got sunrise happening. Okay, now I'll just clean off these bits, as you do, because I've made a nice mess here. And I've just got a bit of colour happening there. But what I'm thinking I might do is I've got this piece here. I'm thinking I need a sailboat in black. What do you reckon? Well, I did that really badly. It's because I'm not leaning on the table properly. Right. Okay. So if I was to pop him on there, can you see how different it looks? But a little bit of secret C. Don't want a lot of this because I'm thinking, okay, she's coming back. Coming back. Just going to put, oh, that's cute, almost like a shadow because the sun's coming up behind it. Now, the reason why I'm wiping it on my table is because it takes off some of that excess and it stops it from being streaky. Now, you can cut this straight in black if you want to. Otherwise, but because the sun's coming up on it, it's going to have that, if you want to actually add a bit of texture to it, it's going to have that colour. It's going to, you can actually just use this and then you can make it so it looks like the sun's coming up behind it because the edges won't be as dark and it's a bit hard to lighten the black. Okay. And it's still dark, so we'll just put a little bit of a light color over this, but the sun is going to be coming through that sail. Okay, but we don't want that sail to be white. All right, so it's coming along, not finished yet, but you see what I mean? You can see how it's coming together. We've got the shadow on the bottom here, and we've got a little bit of color up the top there. So the other thing that we can do is using our this has got a lot of our Timid Tiger on it, so I'm just going to huff on it just to make it a bit wetter, and I'm just going to put a little bit of Timid Tiger around these edges. Okay, pick up a little bit more ink and I'm just adding that to those edges. Okay, you pass me those pens.
Which ones?
The neutrals, please. Yep, that one. Okay, so I've got my Stampin' Right markers.
I'm just going to get after this.
Yes, got my Stampin' Right markers. Misty Moonlight is in here. Okay, so if you wanted to, you could add some features to it. We've got windows in here. Oh, I'm very nervous. There is a stamp for it, okay, but I would have had to have done the stamp before I cut this out. Actually, do you want to shall we do that? I'll show you how you do that. All right, not a problem. Let's do that because what I was going to do, I was just thinking, oh, I'm really risking it here. So here's a piece. Like, I don't get rid of my scrap, so that piece won't work, but that's okay. So here's another piece. And we can use all these other bits that I've made. So there's one sailing ship. I do like it, but we're going to cut this piece in half and we're going to make another one. Okay, we might make a darker one as well. And we're going to stamp this one. Oh, It's already on the block. Which block did I put? Oh, that's the one I put on that. Oh, sorry, Laurie. You might have to watch it on replay. I don't think it's my end. All right. So I'm going to stamp it in our secret C. Oh, what a glorious boat. Look at that. How lovely is that? Okay, so there's two different ways to do this. So I've just stamped that in secret C. And you're thinking, how are you going to line that up with your embossing folder? Aren't you? Is anyone thinking that? Well, there's two different ways we can do this. Okay, let's see if I can stuff this up on live television. All right, won't be the first, won't be the last. Let's, oh, where's the, take that one off. I'm going to put these sails on. I actually really love these sails. I just thought they were fabulous. You got to hold your tongue in the right spot. Look at them. Don't they make a great sailing ship? Okay, I've got blue ink absolutely everywhere there. Dark blue ink. So this is another way that we can stamp, cut and emboss. Okay. If you want to colour this one, you can colour it now. If you want to colour it after, you can colour it after. When I say colour it, add a bit of colour to it. Nobody said you had to wait until after. Afterwards, though, we can actually do a little bit, we can actually do it a little bit different, and we can do some, what's it called? We can actually make it a little bit darker. So I'm just giving it a little bit of colour, taking away just the white. Okay, need to put a bit of, your mini blending brush will come in handy here, because that piece in there essentially needs to be orange. You can cut it out afterwards if you would like. If you've got the crafter set of the Take Your Pick tool, there is a scalpel in there, so you can do that. Okay, so we've got our knife, we've got our folder. Right, I'll make the sandwich and then I'll put that on there so you can see. Okay. Got our knife, got our folder. The knife goes on the side that has the Stampin' Up on it. Okay. It does make it difficult to see. All right, because as you see, I can't tell. All right. So if you wanted to stamp it first, you can. Otherwise, you're going to have to send it through separate. All right. There is a way that you can do it, and I haven't practiced enough, okay? Because that normally just clicks straight in there, and then you can just sort of plonk this on top. But I'm going to cut it out first, and then I'm going to emboss it second, because that to me is just the easiest way to do it. So we're cutting out, so we're going to need all of our plates except for the grey one. And we're going to cut this gorgeous sailing ship out. It is pretty cool. I'll just send him through, and then we're going to emboss it. I didn't do that very well, did I? Let's put that down while I load the embossing folder. Now you'll see it sits quite perfectly in there. All right, we can come along here and we can leave it in its frame, because then we can actually feel it sit into the spot that where it needs to sit to emboss in the correct spot. Okay, shut our folder. Check that it's in the right spot on the other side, because we don't want to chop up on our embossing folder. I'm sure that it will do that. It won't only do that for me, it will do it for everybody. Oh, everybody's getting a bit laggy. Doesn't normally do that. The internet here is behaving, though it's pretty consistent with everybody else. Right. It does keep telling me that people are dropping on and off. And then you'll have it. One, I've just pulled it out, and now I've got one embossed and stamped sailing ship. This piece here, if you want to, you can cut it out. Looks like it cut a little extra off, but that's okay. You can cut it out if you've got that blade handy, which I don't happen to have that blade handy, so I won't be cutting it out. So which would mean to me it needs a bit of Timber Tiger in that little bit. Now, the mini cut and emboss, the mini cut and emboss machine, no, I've cut and emboss machine on my brain now. The mini blending brush is your friend here. And mine are all, of course, on the other. Oh, actually, no, there's one. Mini blending brush. Just so that you can get in there. I'm strangling it. And just make it so that it's a little bit more, what's the right word for it? The colours is coming up from the back. Okay. I do need to clean my desk before I start with my, look at that. That sits perfectly over that one there, and it's looking pretty good. Okay, I'll just put this, and it looks heaps better than this one, but there's nothing stopping me having half a sailing ship in the background. Or even, you'll notice that if you're stamping, there is, if you're cutting and embossing, there's actually some smaller ones in here. So you could have a small one. You could also have, come on, out you come. There's separate sails. Like, so you could actually have a little bit of fun with piecing these together. Oh my gosh, if you can get them out of the packet. So that doesn't go on that one, but it does work well on this one here. Okay. We might have some, we're going to have some white fluffy clouds because the yellow fluffy clouds aren't doing it for me. So I need some white clouds. And I need some birdies. And let's have a smaller sailing boat. Because we can. What do you reckon? Okay, so we're going to cut out a few extra things. Okay, so they're going to cut out in white and they're going to get cut out in a black. All right. Although I really like these clouds. I think that they are just so cool because they've got like a, at the moment they're yellow, which is not really very coming for them, but they've got a nice and fluffy, and like you don't really want too fluffy a cloud. Need that piece. I need some white. What are these guys? Not you. I want you and you in white. So you can just, why don't I do the birds in white? I don't want the birds in white. I just want clouds in white. Okay. Alrighty. So I think I think today's actually the last day that the doctor that I was going to give this to is actually at work. So I might have to send it home with his, because his wife works there as well. Let's have a set of black seagulls. And a smaller black sailing boat. Now, why did I pick sailing? Just because it's the stamp set that we've got that's a bit more blokey, and I like the retirement sentiment in it. Okay, this one is an $88 bundle. There's lots of pretty things that you can do with it, and I think it's going to make a great blokey set. Okay, and I just think I need to play with it a bit more. Okay, so we've got 3 birds, a sailing ship, another sailing ship, and a couple of clouds. Don't know which bits we're going to use. We're definitely going to use these birds though, because I think that they are the cutest. Just dropping it to try and get them out. Come on. And this part of my ship. I keep saying ship, but it's actually not a ship. It's a sailing boat. All right. So it's looking pretty smick if you ask me, but that's because, you know, I'm a bit biased. Well, I think the clouds are too white. What do you reckon? Because if would you be out sailing if that was the case? I know that I don't think I would. If there was these big white, even white fluffy clouds in the sky, I don't know that I'd be out sailing. Okay, but there's a couple of little birds here. It's up to you if you want to trace them. All right, or not, or just leave those birds there and they're sort of off in the distance. I'm just going to add this one here to, come on, to this boat, and it actually goes, because it actually goes that way around. And then I'll show you what I'm going to do with it. This one's going to be off in the distance. That's why I was able to make it so dark. Okay, so that one is like it's off in the distance. So it's like it's a long way away, okay? Which is why it's black. All right. It can have a little bit of darkness under it here too. All right. And we'll add a little bit more to the bottom of that ship because it's leaning against the water's edge. Got to hold your tongue right when you're doing this. Now, the other thing I've sometimes done is I'll come around and I'll put a little bit of the dark, in this case, dark, this secret sea around my outer edge, just because I can. Okay, that piece, I'm going to glue it down now just because it'll stop me playing with it. You know how you do stuff and you think, now I've gone too far? You just got to step back one step and you would have been right. I'm trying to avoid that. Okay, so I'm getting the inspiration from this just from that simple email that we got sent from Stamping Up. Got sent to all demonstrators. Another perk for being a demonstrator. I'm just going to clean that off because I want to bring my envelope in because I need to add it to the thing. I've lost a bird. Here it is. All right. So this little one here is going to go at the back. Alrighty. It's got a very bent mast at the moment. There we go. So it's sitting there at the back. This guy here is actually going to get popped on with some dimensionals, although it is quite textural. It really doesn't need the dimensionals, but it is going to get popped on with some dimensionals. Okay. You will need minis down the bottom here for the hull. Okay. Just because it's actually long and skinny. You'll fit a big one in the middle. Oh, you're cutting it fine, nice and close there. Okay. Oh, that one didn't come off. And we're just going to stick this one on over the top of that guy, just because we can. Okay. So you'll see it's quite dark down here because we've got our shadow. Will I put these clouds on? No, I won't, but I will stick these birds on. So there's 3 little birds. Your take your pick tool is your friend here. There is birdies on in the sky. My suggestion is that you might want to put just the tiniest little piece of glue. Glue dot will be too small. The tiniest little bit of glue. Let it go a bit tacky, so that way it dries a little bit, and then your bird will sit a bit closer, will stick a bit better. Right. There's one bird. Two. I'll put this one up there. Okay, so just let that dry a little bit there, that one. So if you're just using the stamps and you're not using the embossing folder, there is the shadow of the boat, or the see how the shadow of that sailing boat is there? So you do have that. I did bring over, I was going to put a tag on it, but I changed my mind. And there's our 3rd bird. Okay. Now for our sentiment, I've got somewhere on the table, probably over here with my envelope. Oh, and we've got our inside envelope. And somewhere here, there is, I brought to the table, and everything's got it's got fingerprints on it. I wonder where they're coming from. Don't mind me. Okay, so we're gonna follow through. You can follow through in a couple of different ways. I'm going to follow through with the big sailing boat, because I really like this big sailing boat. And I'm going to pop it on the inside, and I'm going to pop it on the envelope. Did you know when these are new, which they are at the moment, if you put a little bit of a chapstick in here, apparently that makes it much easier. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm thinking I'm going to need to. What did I just do with that whopping great big block? There it is. Right, so we'll add a full sailboat almost a full sailboat to the inside of our envelope, our card. And we're going to add almost a full sailing boat. Yeah. Now, because I've got a that's just the envelope and the inside piece, I'm not going to do too much to them in the way of, I will put the stripes on, but I'm not going to do too much in the way of colouring. Now, this is going to be hand delivered, so I don't need to worry about the mail. I don't need to worry about the little franking thing, not liking the fact that there's blue colour that's not the name and address and all that sort of stuff. With your markers, because we're doing this on the envelope, you can come in with your markers and just put a little bit of a C thing happening. It's up to you, okay? All right. But have you ever embossed your envelopes? So there's nothing stopping you, especially if you're not putting this through the mail, embossing this part of your envelope. It will look really, really good with that water embossed on it. Okay, so we're going to do that, and I'm just going to show you how really, really good it looks. Now, I normally tell you to make sure you put your folder in with the spine first. Well, we can't at the moment. Because of what we're going to do, we're not able to put that spine in first. Because of the way that this folder is drawn, and what we want to do, we actually have to put it in sideways. Okay. So it's going to have to go through like that first. And then it's going to have to go through. So the actual spine is at this particular time is 2. Oh, I don't think it wants to play. It doesn't want to play. I'm so nervous. I like sending my spines in first. I really do. I get so worried about them when they're not. Oh, I'm going to stand up for it. It's not no, it doesn't want to go. Sorry, everybody else seems to get it to work. All right, guys, don't do that. It stuffs up your envelope for starters. Maybe if I put it in. Oh, it's because I've got the extra piece in it. Far out, Brussels sprout. It was my own fault. Okay. Stampin' upside up. Make sure you've only got the right number of pieces in the embossing for what you're embossing. Make sure everything is straight and try again. Oh, wow, that's better. Oh, magic. Wow. Right, does that make everyone feel better now that I just tried to wreck my folder on the first time I've used it to do that? So you'll see now I've got some blue ocean on my envelope. Well, it's not blue yet. It's blue when I come along and I add a bit of colour. Okay. Bit choppy out there today. What do you reckon? Bit choppy out there today? Yeah. And this one here is going to go on the inside. And then we're going to do our sentiment because I found my sentiment piece. So our catalogues are full of ideas. The online store is full of ideas. If you click on one of the bundles, you'll often see that there's 3, 4, sometimes more pictures of stamps of ideas as to what you can do with that particular stamp set. So I challenge you all to go and have a sticky. I'm thinking that we need to write this. I'm going to still bring in the secret seed to write it. I just think that we need to. Because it's going to hang out down the bottom here, so it needs that dark colour. Happy retirement. Hold your tongue correct and straight when you're stamping it. And hopefully it just works beautiful like so. Okay. And then we're just going to pop that on there like this. Okay, just trim that down a little bit. I wasn't sure how long I needed it because I didn't actually measure it. And I am going to put a little bit of ink around the outside edges of this because I can, essentially. It's got a little bit of blue on there at the moment, but I do want it to have a little bit of that timid tiger, just to take the white off it. And because I've already got a fingerprint of the blue on there, I will add a bit of blue to this end just to make it so that it looks like I did it deliberately. Okay. All right, so that's going to sit quite nicely on there. And we're going to use dimensionals for that as well. Now, there is sitting on my table. What is it? Oh, I've got this colour. Right, I thought I had the black on here as well. Doesn't look like it. You can put some fibre on it if you want. I've got some really nice gold here. That'd be quite nice, actually. It's no longer current though, so if you, it's just like a gold rope, but it's still quite nice. Nobody says you have to use supplies only while they're current. That's the beauty about being a crafter. You can use them whenever you want. So I've got too big a lag on this end, so I'm just going to eyeball it and do that. So, see, this is the gold. This gold trim is no longer available. It's sitting on my table because I was doing something else the other day. I don't seem to have the black from the basic set. I've got the gems that I wanted to use, but I don't seem to have that black trim. And that's okay. You don't need everything. But how nice would that gold look? All right. I don't normally use stuff that's no longer available, but I am today. When I'm putting on anything that I want to stick like a trim underneath, actually, do I want to use it? What do you reckon, guys? Do I really want to use it? Oh, I don't know. Oh, I can't decide. When you're sticking on trim underneath, and it's going to stick out either side, it's up to you whether you gather it, whether you roll it, what you do with it. It does need it. I think it's going to look fabulous. I'm just going to put, you can use this or you can use your tear tape. All right. And I'm just going to curl it under there. Okay. And I'm using that to stick it on. Just because I can. All right. Need to make those loops a bit bigger. And we're just going to pop that on there like so. So you can use stuff that's retired on your cards. Nobody's going to stop you from doing it. There's no point. There's no hard and fast rules for what you do, as long as you like how the card turns out, essentially. Okay, but what you need to do is you need to be aware that it's going to change how this is going to sit on there. So I'm going to actually add some more dimensionals, one of which is going to be under here, because I want to be able to control where it goes. This one here can come at the end, and I'll put another one at this end. Okay. Alrighty, and we're just going to pop that on there like so. All right. Okay, and then we're going to pop some spots on just because we can. It's up to you what color you use. I'm going to go with the black just because I can. Alrighty. And there we have it. Alrighty, so that beautiful bundle is called the Sunrise Sailing Bundle. We've got a stamp set, dies, and we've got an embossing folder. So using just some suggestions that Stampin' put out for class, I've pinched their ideas and I've put that on crooked. Oh, we don't want that nonsense. I've pinched their ideas and I've made it my own.
You'll have to send me a photo.
And yeah, so I'll just turn that around a little bit and go like so.
Can I see that?
All right, there you have it. We are all looking pretty smick. What do you reckon, guys? You like that one? All right. So you can add this to a kit. You can add this to just a card. It's up to you. But if you would like this one, we've got the Sunrise Sailing Bundle, some blending pens, and a couple of ink pads. So I only used, what, 4? So the choice is yours. You will need some blocks. Okay. All right. Until next week, reach out if you were thinking of joining. Reach out if you would like to join us at the retreat. I am doing, oh, here she is. This is my dear daughter, Cedar, that doesn't want anyone to know who she is whenever she goes anywhere, but she doesn't realise that this is seen all over the place.
I'm okay with that. Hi, everyone.
All right. I'm going to go now and I will catch you all same bat channel next week. All right. Toodaloo.